Hey guys, welcome to the 20-second C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to overload methods and how to use enumerations. So I touched on using or overloading methods before, but I didn't really explain what it was, so I'm going to do that now. So basically, overloading a method allows you to use the same method as many times as you would like, as long as you change the parameters. For example, if we were to copy this show message method right down here, we would get an error if we tried to debug. So just debug, and yeah, we get an error, and it says that this my namespace.myClass already defines a member called show message with the same parameter types. And what that means is these parameters are the same as this one. So we cannot have two methods with the same name that have the same parameters. So we would have to change the type of the variable being passed, or pass multiple parameters into our method. So we could also do like string my message, and it would allow that too. But or you could change the type of the variable being passed. So if we change this into an integer, then that would be perfectly fine. But we just have to do .toString right there, because we can't, we have to convert it into a string. So now when we go back to our form 1 and we do this show message method, we have two options. We can either pass an integer in or a string in. I'm going to pass an integer in first, so type 21 in there. And now when I debug, that's perfectly fine because it knows which method to go to. It knows to go to this method because it's passing an integer. So now I should get 21. Yep. And if I were to change this to passing a string in, such as Adam, now when we debug, we should get a message box that says Adam. And yep, because since it was a string, it knew to go to this method right here. Now, you can overload a method as many times as you would like I said before. Like we could overload this method like 20 times, and that would be perfectly fine. But we would just have to change the parameters being passed in. So now that we got overloading methods out of the way, I'm going to show you how to use enumerations. So basically what an enumeration is it's an integer array that uses names to represent each of the integers inside of it. So in order to create an enumeration, you're just going to want to type the keyword enum, and then following that you're going to want to name your enumeration, and I'm just going to call it names. And after that you're just going to have your curly braces. Now you can put anything you would like for the elements. Like you can name these elements anything you would like. I'm just going to put names in there. I'm going to put my name, and then in order to put multiple elements, you want to separate them by a comma. And you can either put them all in the same line or stagger them or whatever you want. Like you could do Joe and then do Bob down here, or we could put Joe on this line down here and just on its own line. Usually you're probably going to want to have them on different lines. But if you only have 3 or 4 elements inside of your names, or inside of your enumeration, then you can just probably put them all on the same line. But you're obviously not going to want to have just one line of elements all the way across your screen either. Alright, so now that we have this enumeration names, we can create a variable with the type names. So we just do names, and then we create a new variable, and just name it let's call it my name. And then we just got to set it equal to something inside of the names enumeration. So we just do names dot and then whatever element that we would like. Like since my name is Adam, I'll just do names dot Adam. So now this variable my name holds the value of Adam. Now, like I said before, this is similar to an integer array. That each one of these names the element inside of it. So Adam is defaultly equal to 0, and Joe is defaultly equal to 0 or 1, and so on. So the first element always equals 0, and this is 1, and this is 2, and so on. But if we wanted to override that, we could set Adam equal to, or the first element equal to 1, and then the next element would be equal to 2, and then 3. But if we were to set Joe equal to like 4, then Bob would be equal to 5. So whatever, it's the next element is always 1 greater than the previous element. And these are defaultly integers. We could change these to another variable type that is like numbers by doing a colon here and then typing the name of the variable we want it to be. So if we want to make it like a byte, then we could do that. So now 1 is a byte, and now 4 is a byte, and so on. So instead of it being like an integer array, it's now like a byte array with Adam equaling the first element in there. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So see you guys.